fire out of that office.
So what about her, about the mine?
I've always wanted to be a fireman, but brother, I'm cured now.
Well, at least that desk was saved.
What are you looking for?
I'm not sure.
Well, how do you know it'll be in if you find it?
Why don't you go away?
Well, I'll look. I can find something I don't want to.
Where's Miss Allen? I thought she was here.
She can't get far in this country without help.
I guess not. I'd like to take a look at that desk before we leave here.
At that time, the rest of the cars will be back. Then we can search for her. Could your friend guard our prisoner in the car for a while? Pedro here has hurt himself.
Oh, certainly. But it's hot out there. Maybe you can move the car into the shade for you. Oh, thanks.
A good idea.
Oh, can't go. Just thought of it. Haven't got a gun.
Here you are.
Thanks, pal. Don't shoot yourself. I might as well. Everybody else has tried it. I'm hoping to find a clue as to what Walter Calvert had in mind when he left here. None of your tricks now, partner. You know, I wouldn't pull anything on you. Better not. Do you mind if I roll myself a cigarette? I guess not, but don't get funny. Gee, with these handcuffs and everything, it's pretty tough. I bet a guy that handles a gun like you could roll me a cigarette without any trouble. Oh, sure. Let me have the makings. Oh, not so fast. I'm a-warning you now. One more false move, I'll fill you so full of lead, they won't be able to pick up your remains, partner. Oh, I wouldn't pull anything on you. Well, you better not. Here's something. This is a letter from Henry Calvert to his foreman, Burke. Looks as if they were robbing Walter of his gold.
Perhaps Walter discovered that he was being robbed and went north with the idea of killing his brother.
See, you know how to roll them swell. Well, tobacco's a little dry and it's hard to roll them. Well, you're doing fine. But that's the best cigarette I ever smoked. Oh, when I finish with this, this will be the best cigarette you ever smoked. Men had better get back quick for some transportation.
They will.
Wow. What happened? Don't you know? No. All I can remember, I was rolling a cigarette and the lights went out.
To look for Miss Allen. We can use the truck to follow Burke.
Good. But you better leave one of the men here in case Burke decides to come back for anything.
See. Come on. Voy a buscar a mi sala, ¿eh?
Muy bien, capitán.
Y usted quédese aquí en caso de que regrese el prisionero.
Sí.
Feeling better, kid?
Oh, I'll live, but I don't know what for. Oh.
Back to town where he has some friends to help him.
Well, he'll have to have a friend with a good file to get those handcuffs off.
Is that side road a shortcut into town?
See, it is not shorter, but it's rough going.
Oh, nothing bothers me anymore, Jose. Let her buck. Jose, you better slow down a little.
Okay, Mr. Rough and Ready, you said let her buck.
I take it back. I take it back.
A whistle. He won't get very far on foot. Jose and I'll head for town. We've got to locate Miss Ellen.
Hey, you didn't say anything about me.
You and the policeman stay and watch the car. Burke expects us to give up the search for it. He isn't back in an hour. Drive the car into town.
But it's hot out here.
We'll go crawl under a bush. Come on, Jose. And don't roll any more cigarettes.
If you go to town, I'm glad to take you with me.
Thank you.
We've got to find this guy. Eh? Now you get up. And then stay right behind me. Right close. There we go. Good thing I studied this language. Oh, don't say it out. No, don't.
No sign of Burke. I told my men to be on the lookout for him.
Good. Now if we can find some trace of Miss Allen.
Come with me. I told you he was a good man.
I never doubted it. But this time you and I had a little heart-to-heart talk.
I have some business at my office. Hasta la vista.
Why did you come to Mexico?
To find Walter Calvert.
What made you think you'd find him here?
Well, he wasn't up there at the Calvert place, so I thought he'd be here.
Well, did anyone tell you might find him here?
No.
Doesn't make sense. This telegram was sent by somebody after you left up there. Take care of girl calling herself Ruth Allen en route there. Signed Calvert. Do you know who sent this telegram?
Certainly. Somebody by the name of Calvert.
Very funny. Don't you realize this contains a definite threat?
No, not necessarily. It could be instructions for someone to look after me.
If so, the instructions were well carried out by the man to whom this was sent.
Who was he?
Burke. He tried to kill you once, he might try it again.
What do you mean again? I thought he was arrested.
He was, but he escaped. I don't know what you hope to accomplish by not confiding in me. Your motives may be above suspicion, but your actions certainly aren't. Which one of the Calverts sent this?
Why does it have to be Calvert? Anybody could send a wire and sign it that way.
Who, for instance?
I haven't any idea.
Have you any idea why you call yourself Ruth Allen?
The best. That's my name.
Whoever sent this telegram doesn't seem to think so.
You've already demonstrated rather conclusively that he's not to be trusted. Besides, I have only your word that the telegram was ever sent. I don't see why I should trust you any more than you do me.
Because your life is in danger, not mine.
You were right about Burke. If you hadn't arrived when you did, he would have killed me.
Why? Because you knew he was robbing Walter Calvert?
Well, I suspected it, but you found proof?
I'll tell you all that when you decide to confide in me, Miss...
Allen is the name, but you've got to catch Burke. Why aren't you out looking for him?
Jose's taking care of that.
Well, perhaps I could help you. Let him see me if he's hiding here.
Might work, but I don't want to take a chance on losing you. You've been too hard to find.
But if you were around, close by me, to guard me...
That gives me an idea. I'll be right back, then we'll go places. Fine manhunter you turned out to be.
Don't ride me, Bob. I got a blister.
Find any trace of Burke?
I was on his trail, but I got another scent. Oh, but don't think I was scared. I drew my gun, but he got the drop on me.
Well, what happened?
The drop.
For trouble. We ought to do something.
It's not time yet.
Time? Time for what?
That, my friend, we shall see.
Sit down, please. You know, the truth is bound to come out sooner or later, even if you try to hide it.
What are you talking about?
Henry Calvert's death. If you know that Walter had anything to do with it, you're trying to cover up for him, you'll only do him more harm than good.
But I don't know any more about it than you do, and I'm just as anxious to find out.
And you still won't tell me what your interest is.
I can't yet, only that my father financed Walter Calvert after Henry had refused to. And then Henry robbed them both.
Giving Walter a very good motive to kill Henry.
But he didn't. He wouldn't.
What makes you so sure?
We know what makes you so sure, don't we?
And you know who she is, too, don't you?
Sure I do.
So I'm not going to tell you. Can't you see she wants it kept a secret? I don't think she'll mind now that she knows who's been robbing Walter Calvert.
So you found that out, did you? Now, you're smarter than I thought you were.
Too bad it's too late to do me any harm or to do you any good. Get over there. So you had a long trip down here for nothing. Now you're going to take a longer one. You won't get very far, Burke. Wrong again. Nobody saw me coming in, and nobody's going to see me go out.
He might have shot you. Sit down. God needs attention.
Oh, stop playing dumb. Open up and tell me the truth about what went on to the Calvert mine. I work for Walter Calvert, that's all I know. Yeah, you worked for Walter Calvert, and you were also stealing from him. I caught her. Yeah, it looks more as if she caught you.
I was on the way to my room when your junior commando grabbed me.
I wouldn't recommend leaving town alone, Miss Allen. Burke here has some friends.
Sit down, Miss Allen. You should be interested in what our prisoner has to say.
Who else besides Meeker was stealing gold from the Calvert mine? Nobody. There wasn't enough to go around. Where's Walter Calvert? Your guess is as good as mine, maybe better. Did you ever see Henry Calvert? No, but I know Walter has a brother named Henry. They hate each other. Did you say Walter has or had a brother named Henry? What are you driving at? I told you I never saw the other brother. Isn't it true, Burke, that you were helping Henry Calvert steal from Walter?
Well, the police arrested Burke.
That's the end of the gold from the Calvert mine for us. Burke might talk.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think we'd better get out of here.
Wait a minute. Besides, we're broke.
Then what?
Well, they're all looking for Walter Calvert, aren't they?
Sure, what of it?
Perhaps they might pay well for information about him.
I've told you all I know. Take Miss Allen up to her room, will you, Duke? See that she stays there.
What are you going to do with him?
Jose will take care of that.
I will.
Come on. All right, let's go.
It's very decent of you, Mr. Stewart, to worry about my welfare like this.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go, hombre.
Okay, but don't try to run away again.
Have you a match, Mr. Ellis?
Oh, sure. Right here. Say, how did you know my name?
You're looking for Walter Calvert, aren't you?
Yes, but...
I'm looking for Walter Calvert.
You are? Well, come with me.
Hey, wait a minute. Bob won't like this.
All right, this fellow's a friend of mine. You can trust him.
Oh, my name's Ellis, Mr. We'll forget names for the time being. Okay, anything you say.
Where's Walter Calvert?
Not so fast, Miss Allen. There's some things to consider first.
All right, how much?
I'll get to that in a moment. Now, the police are looking for Walter. Perhaps I should go to them.
Say, that's a good idea.
Wait a minute, Duke. I want to talk to Walter before the police get him.
Why?
I can't explain it now, but it means an awful lot to me and to Walter, too.
But Bob should know about this.
Bob will know about it, I promise you. Now, look, Duke, if we can find Walter Calvert, it'll be the biggest story of the year. All yours exclusively.
That's right. I can ask for a raise.
Yeah, and you'll get it, too. We'll play ball with you. How much?
$5,000.
It's a deal. 5,000. Where do you think we'd get that kind of money?
If I knew that, brother, do you think I'd be wasting my time talking to you?
Hey, wait a minute. I got a way for us, Duke.
It's too dangerous.
What's too dangerous?
Holding up the bank.
Oh, will you listen?
Nothing doing. I'd get fired if that didn't work out.
It'll work out all right.
Okay, maybe I can get another job and Bob won't mutilate me too much.
Good, I knew you'd see it. We just got to take a chance.
Stop saying we. I'm the one who's taking the chance.
Yeah, and you'll be a real hero. We'll have the 5,000 for you by morning.
I'll have it.
I don't care who has it, but I won't stand for any tricks.
There won't be any tricks. Now, what do we do?
All right, you come with us. You get back to the hotel and keep your mouth shut. We'll contact you later.
She'll be perfectly safe with us. Just a little margin of safety.
Are you sure you know where Walter Calvert is?
Do you think I like playing games?
All right, Duke, you take care of the money matters, and don't worry about me. These gentlemen here just want $5,000, not me.
You'll hear from us tomorrow morning.
Just a minute, you two. Trying to pull a fast one, huh? Well, give me back my matches. Come on, miss.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Stewart. We were just ringing your room. The operator has your long-distance call ready.
Thanks, I'll take it in the booth. Oh, by the way, have you seen Mr. Ellis or Miss Allen this morning?
Miss Allen isn't down yet, but Mr. Ellis is up and around.
Thanks. Bob Stewart speaking. I'll take that long-distance call now.
Hello. Sergeant Smith speaking. Oh, good morning, Mr. Stewart. I'm glad you called. I was just making out my report. At 9:20 last night, I was making my customary checkup. Sarah Caldwell reported to me in the lower hallway that,
Sergeant Smith! Sergeant Smith!
What is it, Miss Caldwell?
I smell smoke.
I smell it, too. It's coming out of here.
That's Mrs. Dill's room.
Miss Dill, get her out of this smoke. Are you all right, Miss Dill?
I guess I'm all right. I don't know exactly what happened. I guess I was overcome with smoke.
Were you using this?
I never use a curling iron.
Well, who does it belong to?
Belongs to Rita. I borrowed it once myself.
Are you trying to say I did this?
I'm not trying to say anything. He merely asked me who it belongs to, and I told him.
My wife had nothing to do with this.
Mrs. Dill, did you ever borrow this curling iron from Miss Bennett?
I told you I never used one.
so then it looks like a clear case against the Bennetts.
Well, that's too obvious, Smith. Rita wouldn't leave her curling iron like that. Somebody planted the attempt on her. Now listen carefully.
What'd you say his name was? Burke? Yes, sir.
Stewart's caught Burke in Mexico, and they're going to make him talk. We must take steps to protect ourselves.
Call me if anything else happens. Where'd you get all that money?
I didn't steal it, honest, Bob.
What's this all about, Duke?
Ruth and I got a tip on Walter Calvert, and they said they'd take us to him and show him to us if we gave him $5,000. I wired my attitude. That's it.
Well, who'd you talk to?
Oh, I don't know them, but they said they'd contact me this morning by phone.
I'll go find Miss Allen.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah.
You won't like this, but she's gone again.
Going where?
With those men we talked to.
What? Why, you dummy, you stupid idiot.
Now, don't lose your temper, Bob.
Your editor won't have to put you in jail. I'll do it for him.
Your telephone conversation back to the Calvert place worked. They were listening in, all right. Here is the copy of a telegram we intercepted. It was sent to a man by the name of Weber and signed Calvert.
This means finish Burke before I can talk.
No, that will not happen. He's well guarded. Now all we have to do is locate this man Weber.
That'll be easy.
Oh, yes? I have never heard of him. And I thought we had a pretty good check on everybody in this town.
My little newspaper boy here has already made contact with the man we want.
Oh?
But I don't know his name.
It's the same name, part of the same gang. They're going to phone him. He'll make good bait for us. And you're going to sit right on that phone until you get the call.
But I might get shot.
I hope.
Yes. This is Duke Ellis. Yes. I have the money. The San Juan Highway?
San Pasqual Highway. Drive north out of town. Keep going until the road stops. You'll get the signal. And don't you try to double cross us.
San Pasqual Highway, north of town. Drive till the highway stops. 4 a.m. Yes. I mean, no double cross. Thanks. Well, you heard it. Take over, Bob.
Wait a minute, not me. You started this, you're going to see it through.
Oh, but you can't do that. I might get killed and lose the $5,000, too.
Well, I'm not worried about the first part. And as for the second, your editor sent you this money to find Walter Calvert.
Oh, but now...
Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. Give them the money, and they will give you the information you want.
Yeah. Right. But they said come in a car. I don't have one.
Well, Pancho is out in front of the hotel. I am sure he'll be delighted to help you.
Oh. Thanks, pals. You both can think of everything to get me killed. Sure, I can drive your car. Here's my driver's license. How do you know you can drive my car? This paper says I can. Nobody has the right to give you paper to say you can drive my car. No, Pancho. This license means I can drive any car I want to drive. But no, my car. Look, Pancho, in my country we have a law. And besides, Jose said... What did Jose say? That you would lend me your car. Why don't you say so? Sure. You can drive my car. You Jose said you could. Oh, swell. How about a drink? But how seguro, senor? Como no? Well, if you feel that way about it, maybe some other time. ¿Qué dice? Sí. I'll do something for you someday.
Sit down. You make me nervous. I don't know how you fit into this deal, but whatever it is, mind your own business. This is my business. I get 1/3 of everything Weber and Muller get. Do you know Walter Calvert? Suppose I do.
You can ask him when you see him.
Seems to me that you're beginning to back out on your end of the deal.
Weber has made contact with the newspaper man. He's bringing the money tonight. That is, if your detective friend doesn't mess it up.
He's no friend of mine.
Must have gotten up in that cliff somehow. How do you suppose we can get up there?
We can drive. There's a road up there.
That'll have to be it.
$5,000 even. Oh, it's all there. I counted 100 times.
Now take us to Walter Calvert. Well, hadn't we better keep our part of the bargain?
Huh? Oh, sure. Sure thing. Come on.
Now what?
Get him on his feet now. I'll show you what we'll do with him. Through that rope, the chute will drop them into the pit. The water will eventually loosen up those leather thongs. And if they're ever found, which I doubt, They'll think they fell in there accidentally.
And we'll be well on our way by that time with the last of the Calvert gold safely tucked away in a car.
Let's put it in there now.
Hey, you, come back here.
What are you going to do to us?
But we have to find Duke and Miss Allen. They were in that car.
Over there. That must be the place where they brought your friend up.
Let's take a look.
Busca dentro a ver qué hay.
Okay, Capitán. That water's not hot. It's ice cold.
Must be a soda spring.
Yeah, what flavor?
Are you trying to be funny or are you just dumb?
Well, I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh, come on, let's get out of here.
Where are you going? There was nobody inside of the chat, Capitan. But they is by an hour ago and left in a hurry.
They must have been the people we passed on the road. But the newspaper man and Miss Allen were not with them.
Let's find out just what went on here. Suppose those men dropped Duke and Miss Allen in that boiling water?
So they received nothing more than a ducking.
But it's boiling.
No se preocupe, amigo. It only appears so. That is because there is a harmless gas bubbling up through it. The water is actually quite cold. I found it.
That's good for one stomach trouble.
Well, they must be down there somewhere.
Yes, we must search for them. Also those others. Vamos.
Since Duke and Miss Allen aren't around here anywhere, maybe we can find them on the road.
I must telephone an alarm for those people.
I came in. I wonder why Bob didn't show up.
Probably that rope trick threw him off the trail.
I wish they'd have thrown him off the cliff. The fine fisherman he turned out to be, using me for bait. What's so funny?
Maybe they used the wrong kind of bait.
Yeah, well, go ahead and laugh. You didn't lose $5,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, Duke, really. Maybe they'll catch those men.
Well, they better. I'll have to stay here and be a hermit. Wait a minute.
Hey.
Sorry. Say, they're not going to make a chump out of me. I'm going to get my money back.
How?
Oh, don't be asking such foolish questions. A map. Oh, this map is no good.
Why?
It doesn't show us where we are.
Well, where are we?
If the map can't tell us, what do you expect from me? Get in the car, will you? If they're in this country, I'll find them.
And there's no air in the spare.
Yeah, well, who's to blame for that? Get busy with the pump.
You'd
You'd gladly trade this gold for a good tire, wouldn't you?
You trying to be funny? The police will be on their necks here in a minute.
See the cars, kids?
Well, how do you know it was their car?
Stop trying to confuse me, will you? Hey, my little car, she's gone.
Maybe Duke and Miss Allen took it.
If so, they drove off in that direction.
There's too much weight in there.
Yeah, put a board under that jack, stupid.
Yeah, I will when you find one.
Yeah. Here, use this.
I could use some help.
Yeah, so I see.
Here's all it was. The brake! Hey, there's the guy that stole my dough.
This is gold from the Calvert mine, all right. You better take care of it, Jose.
I will, until Walter Calvert is found.
Well, I represent him. I'll take it.
The only thing you're going to take is that plane north with us. Now, if you can see that we get some transportation to the border.
Oh, certainly, con mucho gusto. And it has been a great pleasure to have worked with you.
Thanks, Jose. We fellas up north can learn a lot from our good Mexican neighbors.
Oh, amigo.
Listen to them. You'd think they'd done it all alone.
Well, didn't they?
No. Didn't I catch those two men? And I bet nobody drove faster down that grade.
And here's one who never intends to try it.
No, sir. Bob Stewart hasn't got back yet, but I expect him tonight. Yes, sir. Everyone is staying here as he ordered.
Stewart's due back tonight, so whatever we do, we better do it in a hurry.
If you think I know where the Calvert money is, you're mistaken.
Yeah, you lawyers always play 'em close. But don't get me wrong, I'm an heir, so some of that money's coming to me. But I'm willing to cut you in if you dig it up.
I wish I could.
My hunch is you could if you would.
Phone for you, Mr. Kurt. I've switched it to this extension.
Well, thank you, partner. Hello? Yes, this is Kurt Bennett.
This is Smiley, Kurt. Why haven't I heard from you about that dough you inherited?
Because I haven't got it yet.
Why not? It's been some time since the old boy kicked off.
Well, I can't tell you on the telephone. There's been complications.
You wouldn't be holding out on old Smiley, would you?
Of course not. I'm in no spot to do that.
Don't I know that? It's about time you and I got together for a little talk, son.
But I can't get out. The state cops have got us pinned in.
All the cops in the state couldn't keep us apart. Hey, you got a side entrance to that place?
Yes?
Okay. I'll meet you there just as soon as it's dark. And don't keep old Smiley waiting, will you?
Maybe you need a good lawyer, Kurt.
Or a shady one.
What's he got on you?
Enough to send me up for 20 years if he wants to.
Tell me about him.
He's a big-time racketeer, or was until they chased him out of New York. Now he's willing to tackle anything. He heard about the inheritance and he's cutting himself in.
Is he clever and capable?
Yeah, and he's got some tough friends, too.
Very interesting. Does it occur to you that we could use some help?
You mean you think we ought to play ball with Smiley?
If you think he can find the money for us, we could always say we did it to trap him. Who could prove different?
Nice legal mind you have, Black.
Then you admit you need a lawyer.
He told me to meet him outside tonight.
slipped off the clutch.
Where am I?
Oh, stop your blabbering and help me find Miss Ellen.
Well, I know I'm not in heaven. You wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but she's gone.
What, again? Do you think she was thrown out of the car?
No, I think she walked away.
Brother, have you and I got charmed lives? I never saw anything so big looking as that locomotive when it comes bearing down on us.
Hand me that microphone. Turn the radio on. Is it on?
Yeah.
Stewart speaking. Control 1. Stewart calling Control 1. Come in, please. Stewart calling Control 1. Come in, please. Guess that bump knocked the radio out of order.
Same here. Can't send or receive. Bob, I thought you could drive. Did your foot slip off the clutch?
You better shake that top of yours again. Somebody pushed us on those tracks.
You mean to tell me the girl got out of the car and it pushed this crate on the tracks?
No, there was a car behind us. I saw him in the rear view mirror.
Yeah, who was it? All right. So I ask stupid questions. Is it my fault if I'm not too bright?
We better hurry up and get to the nearest phone and get another car.
I'll go in and bring the lawyer outside so we can talk alone.
All right, make it fast. And safe.
Any instructions?
Not for the moment. Watch Kurt carefully. He might plot with Black to get away with part of the money.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mrs. Dill.
Mr. Stewart, I'm so glad you're back.
Aren't you glad to see me, Mrs. Dill?
Need I answer that?
Who do you suppose just drove in? Those two.
Yeah, saw him go by.
Well, what are we going to do?
Get out of here fast.
Okay, come on. I'll let you out the gate. I can open it from the inside.
We can both get out that way.
Both of us?
Yeah, we're going to New York. I know a dozen people there who will swear I never left town, see?
What's it got to do with me?
Plenty. I don't like to drive alone. I like company.
Honey, Smiley, I won't talk.
You bet your life you won't. From now on, you're going to be my little bosom pal. Maybe that copper got a glimpse of my car.
Well, what about my wife, Rita?
Well, you got nothing to worry about. We'll get in touch with her later. They ain't got a thing on her.
I must say, Mr. Stewart, you can think of the worst times to question people.
Unfortunately, Mrs. Caldwell, I don't pick the time. Morgan Calvert's murder makes me work at these unreasonable hours. Now, I'm not going to waste any words on you. Someone in this house killed Morgan. And you're all held on suspicion until I find the guilty one.
Aren't you forgetting several people? It seems to me the guilty ones would be the first to get away, if they can.
Well, Miss Allen won't get far. And as for Kurt Bennett, well, we'll pick him up within the hour. As a matter of fact, I don't think he even left the grounds.
Well, you needn't look at me like that. I don't know where he is.
Have any of you anything to tell me that might shed a little light on this mystery?
Did you find any trace of Walter in Mexico?
Mrs. Caldwell, as I said before, I'm asking the questions, not answering them. Well?
I'd like to say something. Last night I heard his voice again. He told me his brother, Walter, was an evil man.
Oh, rubbish. We're wasting our time listening to her.
Laugh if you want to. But the spirits told me that something would happen to Mr. Henry.
Take it easy, Mrs. Dill. Mr. Black, you have a nasty mess on your hands legally. Almost as bad as my criminal case. But you don't seem particularly disturbed.
I'm doing all I can. What would you have me do? Organize a treasure hunt for the missing money in the will?
No offense, Mr. Black.
I'm sorry.
However, it does seem odd that you weren't more familiar with Henry Calvert's affairs. After all, you weren't exactly strangers.
Quite right. But Henry himself was an odd man.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
Will that be all, sir?
That's all. Good night, Patton. Good night, Mrs. Dill.
Hey, Bob, I couldn't sleep a wink in this joint. Did you see how that butler looked at me?
Oh, he's only trying to be friendly.
Friendly?
You better get some sleep, Mrs. Bennett. Good night, Mr. Black. Come with me, Duke.
You bet. How can that girl disappear so often?
Mr. Stewart.
Oh, Mr. Smith, don't do that. Can't you let a fellow know when you're coming? Haven't you got a whistle?
I've looked all over this place. No sign of the girl or Kurt Bennett. Place your men carefully. I'm going to get some rest.
Right. Me too. But I want to keep one eye open and one foot on the floor.
Calvert residence?
This is Miss Allen, Patton.
Oh, I'm glad to hear your voice, Miss Allen.
Your double cross didn't work.
I have been worried about you. I'm glad you're safe.
I can imagine. After your plan failed in Mexico and you tried to kill me at the railroad crossing.
Oh, you're mistaken. Something went wrong in Mexico, but I know nothing about a grade crossing.
You're lying, Patton. I recognize Kurt Bennett in the car behind us.
If I told you who the man was Mr. Bennett, would you trust me?
After 2 attempts on my life, I'd be a fool to trust you.
Oh, no, please believe me, Miss Allen. The man's name is Smiley. He's from New York and he's dangerous. Now, you must trust me. Where are you? Miss Allen.
I heard the telephone conversation, Patton. That girl is no fool. However, we have other matters to attend to tonight.
Very well, sir.
Now, Kurt will go back to New York with Smiley. This makes a perfect opportunity for the furtherance of our plan. Now, listen carefully.
Where's Mrs. Caldwell? Let me have your keys, please.
They're in my room.
I have my keys, Mr. Stewart.
I knew it. The voices told me this would happen.
Whose is this?
I've seen Mr. Bennett wearing a scarf just like that.
Kurt didn't do this. Oh, help! Help! A man with a knife. Oh, Mr. Stewart.
What happened, Mrs. Caldwell?
I had a premonition someone would try to kill me. I placed that roll in the bed and sat over here.
A good thing you did.
I fell asleep. Something wakened me. I saw the figure of a man over there by the bed. He was holding a knife in his hand and a piece of cloth. Well, I screamed.
Any idea who it was?
Unfortunately, no.
Does this scarf belong to your husband?
Of course it does.
I can't say whether it does or not.
Phone in a broadcast to pick up Kurt Bennett. Hold him for attempted murder.
Wait, please.
Yes, Mrs. Bennett?
I know Kurt had nothing to do with this. He wasn't even in the house.
How do you know that?
Because he left the grounds to meet a man.
Who?
You don't have to answer that, Miss Bennett.
Keep out of this, Black.
I'm sorry. My legal training.
Go on, Mrs. Bennett.
A man named Smiley came from New York to see Kurt. Kurt owed him some money. My husband left to meet him early this evening and hasn't returned.
What do you know about this Smiley?
Well, I only saw him once in New York. I believe he's a gambler. Please, Mr. Stewart, Kurt wouldn't try to kill anyone. He just got mixed up with bad company.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bennett. I'll still have to arrest your husband. But the information you've given me may help prove his innocence, if it's correct. Send in the broadcast. Have that checked, but it won't do any good. Scarf served a double purpose.
Put it out right away. Mr. Stewart wants to talk to Bennett. Bad.
Oh, boy, what a break. When you grab that guy, Kurt, he'll probably confess to all the crimes in this place, and I get an exclusive interview.
So you really think we've got something?
Yes, sir.
Well, Kurt Bennett had nothing to do with that incident in Sarah's room. This scarf plant was too obvious.
What about the broadcast?
Remember that thing about the extension phone? Well, they were listening in on that, too.
I hate to keep repeating this. I don't get it. Maybe I'm stupid.
That's all right. Just keep on repeating it.
That broadcast will throw him off the track in New York.
Throw him off the track in New York, but we're here.
Yeah, but that's where we'll find Kurt Bennett with Smiley. Say, don't tell anyone where we've gone.
Right.
Well, we've gone.
Yeah, or do I have to send in your copy for you, too?
Oh, no, sure. New York. Oh, boy. Good food, bright lights, crowded subways. Love the place. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Phone for you, Smiley.
Okay.
Yeah. Smiley? This is Kurt. I'm down the street from my place. I just saw Stewart and that newspaper guy in a car.
Good. Where are they now?
They're parked down the street.
Listen, you go on up to your room and be sure they see you.
Are you crazy?
You do what I say. I'll drop around a couple of minutes with some of the boys.
This is the place here.
I'll go and watch the back.
Okay, Harris.
These New York cops gave us quick cooperation in locating Kurt.
Remember, keep your eyes open.
I know, and my mouth shut.
We don't know what we're getting into. This Smiley might be a rough character.
Don't worry, leave him to me. Oh, no.
Open up, Kurt. I know you're in there. You're under arrest, Bennett.
I haven't done anything. I was only riding in that car.
Yeah, then who was driving?
Shut up, Kurt.
Oh, so you were driving the car.
Oh, come on, cut it out. I don't carry concealed weapons. It's against the law. You know that.
All right, Kurt, outside.
I smell gasoline. One of you guys must work at a filling station.
Quiet, you.
Come on.
Turn around.
Get out.
Now tie him up.
Miss Allen.
Oh, well, Fancy meat ain't hurt here. The place is on fire. Now I smell smoke.
Since we can't get out that way without Bob taking shots at us, we'll keep close to the floor. Over your head.
Somebody up here.
Thanks for the quick work.
That wasn't much of a blaze, all in the hall. Looked like somebody touched off some gasoline.
I told you I smelled gasoline when those thugs came in, remember?
If you know anything, tell the arson squad. They're investigating.
We'll do that.
Sure, I live there, but I don't know how the fire started.
Well, how'd you know about those people being trapped up there?
Well, they dropped in to see me about something. Then some friends of mine came in, and there was a little misunderstanding, and then...
Misunderstanding, huh? First you try to burn them out, then you try to shoot them when they come out of a window.
I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, no? Well, we'll see what they have to say about that. Here's your bird. He tried to fly away.
Listen, Stewart, I had nothing to do with that attack on you. Honestly, I'm just as sorry about it as you are.
You're not as sorry as I am, buddy. I got reasons.
Now maybe you'll do a little talking.
I'll be glad to.
Okay, Harris, let's get back to the station.
Say, this is pretty classy, Bob. I didn't know you had a New York office.
I haven't. Very nice of New York police to let me use this one. Why not get busy with those notes? So you don't intend to prefer charges against Miss Allen for entering your room?
No, she's welcome to anything of value she found there.
Mr. Bennett is probably aware of that old maxim about coming into court with clean hands.
Well, you should talk.
Quiet.
Okay.
Who slugged the Officer Jones at Calvert's gates?
Smiley, one of the men you met tonight.
What was he doing there?
He came after me.
Why?
Well, he heard I was going to inherit some money, so he...
So he decided to cut in. Any reason he should?
None that I want to talk about.
Was it Smiley who shoved my car in front of that train?
That was an accident.
How do you mean? Came very near being a fatal one.
Well, Smiley's foot slipped off the clutch.
On purpose?
I wouldn't know.
Do you know where I can find Smiley?
I wouldn't want him to know I told you.
Well, there's no reason why he should.
Well, he usually hangs out at the Midnight Club after closing hours.
Let me have Captain Evans, please. Hello, this is Bob Stewart. I think I have a line on those men that set that fire tonight. Yeah, they may be at the Midnight Club. That's right. No, I only want one of them. Okay, I'll be right there.
May I leave now?
Yes, as soon as you tell me all I want to know about yourself.
I've already told you.
Oh, but I'm not satisfied it's the truth. No, you can't walk out of here the way you have other places, Miss Allen. There's a matron outside who's been detailed to watch you. I'll tell her to bring you something to eat.
Eat? What do we eat?
You'll get something hot at the Midnight Club.
Sorry, pal, this place ain't open. It is now.
We want you men for that fire over on 2nd Street tonight.
Fire?
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing on us.
We've got enough. Now!
Naughty, everybody's looking at you. No. I'm not your partner. I belong the one I want, Smiley.
Say, how many of those bracelets do you have? Oh, enough.
You got one you don't need?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm particular who I'm tied to. Or am I? What am I doing in a place like this?
Looks like he got away.
Well, maybe the boys outside will pick him up.
You've got nothing on us, Copper.
I think we have.
Maybe you can tell the officer here why you were nearing up that fire to get your eyebrows singed.
Yeah, I noticed that. Come on, let's go.
Did you nab Smiley?
No, he made a clean getaway.
That's bad.
We'll get him.
I hope we see him first.
Where's Miss Ellen?
The matron took her downstairs to feed her.
Say, do you suppose you could scare up a meal for me?
You two go ahead and eat. I have a phone call to make. And you have to go back to the Calvert residence.
Smiley will know I put him on the spot. We'll see more of him later.
I hope so. This is Bob Stewart. I want to make a long-distance call to... Calvert residence. Sergeant Smith speaking. Well, hello, Bob. Yes, everything's about the same. We'll be starting back in half an hour. I'm bringing Miss Allen and Kurt Bennett with me. Tell the medical examiner to rush that dental report on the man who was killed in the car. Then we'll know whether it was Waller or Henry Calvert we still have to deal with. I'll tend to that. But there's been no further attempts on anybody. Maybe our unknown is left for other parts. I hope not. I want to catch him. Here's another angle to watch. That ex-racketeer Smiley is still at large. Yeah, he's tried twice to kill me. I don't want to give him another chance. Good idea. Keep a close watch on that party I mentioned before. Yeah, I think he's the contact man. Okay. Yeah, see you in a few hours. Goodbye.
I don't see why you don't arrest Miss Allen, Kurt, and Patton and wind this thing up. We've got something on all of them.
They're more valuable to us at Liberty. Sooner or later, one of them will contact that mystery man of ours, then we'll grab him.
But I've got to have something for my boss. I'm running out of good news stories.
Well, why don't you invent some?
Anything of value yet?
No. What's wrong with you?
Oh, they didn't catch Smiley. He'll be gunning for me.
Young Bennett and Black are talking in the library again.
They can do nothing. What concerns me is that I can do nothing either. I can't even get to where I've hidden the money.
Anything I can do?
Yes, we must get some of them out of here. Create a diversion elsewhere. Prepare another telegram for Black and Kurt alone. Reading?
The women are all in their rooms. Kurt and Black are in the library, and Patton was listening in. Was there anyone on that extension when we were talking in the library last night?
No, I checked.
Well, there must be another extension. Did you notice my voice go dim at times?
Now that you mention it, yes.
Say, what's this all about?
Well, when you cut in an extension, it increases the resistance and cuts down on the power.
Now, ain't science wonderful?
Check on that, will you, Smith? Have one of your men come in as a lineman.
Yeah.
Quit worrying about Smiley. He doesn't want you. He's after the money.
Then we'll have to get some for him. Surely you can get your hands on some cash or securities?
Suppose I did.
I was out near the front gate when this came. Nobody else knows about it.
What we're looking for. Meet me in your office. Confidential, Walter. This must mean he's found the money. We've got to go.
But there are several things to be considered. First, are we certain that's from Walter? Second, why should he notify us? And third, if we do decide to go, how are we going to leave unobserved?
This is no time for legal arguments. We've got to go. What do we lose?
But how? Hello. Yes. Yes, he's here. Who is this?
Kurt, we'll know the voice. Put him on.
It's Smiley. Maybe he can help us to get away. Play up to him.
Hello, Smiley.
Easy with the names, kid. You never know who's listening in.
The cops brought me back here.
Yeah, no. And you didn't put the finger on me at the club either, did you?
You know I wouldn't do that. They have ways of finding out about you. We've located some of that money, but we've got to get away from here to find it. If you'll help us, why, we'll make a deal.
Well, we might still do business. Say, is anything allowed to go in or out of that place? Delivery wagon? That might be it. Be ready to move. And no more slip-ups.
Comes a truck now, but I don't see Smiley.
Maybe he's inside. Let's check.
Good, huh?
You're late, Mr. Weeks.
Mrs. Still! I'm going to We'll never make the front now. My car's at the side. Come on.
Car, dude.
Attention all state cars. Going west on Highway 18. Calvert Estate. Black sedan, 4 men in it. Stop and hold. Emergency. Stewart.
I thought so. They'll head us off this way. Gotta sidetrack them someplace. Pull into that gas station. I've got an idea. And quick.
There's other cars first.
That may be, but I got no time to...
down here.
Two men in the garage. Cover the front, Julie. Black and Kurt around here somewhere. Okay.
Everything, Stewart.
I'm afraid you'll have to.
Well, the Rosa boys. Glad to see you again.
See what's going on.
We got this one alive, Mr. Stewart.
You ain't got nothing on me. I was only working for Smiley.
Lock him up. Notify the coroner about Smiley.
You're a lawyer. Can't you help me?
Mr. Black has his own troubles. How about that, Black?
Smiley was a friend of Kurt's. Kurt owed him some money. I was merely trying to help. We were practically kidnapped.
What about that, Kurt?
Whatever he says is right.
I see. And you're willing to let him do your talking for you because you know he's a better liar than you are.
You have no right to say that, Stewart.
No? Now listen here, you. You two have been cooking up a deal to get at that Calvert money. If you were kidnapped, why didn't you interfere with Smiley and Ben when we were tangling with them?
Grabbing criminals is your business, Stewart, not mine.
Oh, that's the way you feel about it, Mr. Black. We'll talk it over at headquarters. Come on, let's go.
Everything is ready at Black's office if they go there.
Good. That leaves Sarah and the girl here to be dealt with.
Any further instructions?
Well, naturally, we want both of them out of the way. However, for the time being, we must delay action with the girl until we find out who she really is. You know what to do in Sarah's case.
Yeah.
That is all for the present.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bennett, but there's nothing I can do until Mr. Stewart gets back.
But something's happened to my husband. Kurt wouldn't disappear without telling me where he was going.
Orders are that everyone stay in this house.
Well, would you mind if I just took a walk around the grounds?
No, that'll be all right, but just don't try to leave the premises.
How about some fresh air, Miss Caldwell?
No, thank you. If the police department have no objections, I'd like to try to get a little rest.
That'll be all right.
Perhaps I can sleep safely in the daylight. If you come up to my room later on, Miss Allen, I'd like to talk to you.
I'd love to.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take a walk with you.
Well, I'd be delighted, but some other time, Mrs. Bennett.
Spying on me, Mrs. Dill?
Any reason why I should spy on you, Sarah?
You know very well there isn't.
Things would have been much better between Henry and me if it hadn't been for your evil tongue. You probably know who killed him, too. You and Walter would get more money with Henry dead.
And you get nothing, which is exactly as it should be.
Miss Allen, I didn't know you were here. Beautiful outfit. Can I cut your bouquet?
Yes, thank you, Patton.
These were Mr. Henry's favorite flowers. It's too bad he died before they bloomed this season.
I remember my father speaking of Mr. Henry's love for that flower.
That's strange. During all the years I've served in this house, I never saw your father.
Well, you see, Patton, my father and Mr. Henry transacted their business by mail.
That's strange, too. I can't recall ever seeing into the letters.
Do you read all of your master's personal mail, Patton?
Oh, no, miss. Oh, I'm sorry. Surely I didn't mean to be inquisitive.
I'm sure you had no such intentions.
Your bouquet, miss.
Thank you, Patton.
Hey, who threw that? What happened?
All right, I'll talk. That's better. I'll tell the truth. Black and I are on the way to his office.
You got part of the Calvert money?
Not quite, but...
You better come clean, better.
Well, Black received a telegram. He was to meet someone in his office. He said that he'd located what we were looking for.
Who sent the telegram?
Well, it was signed by Walter Calvert.
Holy smoke, Walter. What became of that wire?
I don't know. Black had it.
Well, it's a cinch he didn't have it when we searched him.
Honestly, Mr. Stewart, I was only trying to get what was coming to me. You gotta believe me.
That remains to be seen. Check on a telegram sent to Horace Black at the Calvert residence today, signed by Walter Calvert.
Nothing from the girl. Stewart hasn't returned, and his long absence bothers me.
Our plan to get Bretherton away from the house has not worked. We are still unable to get our hands on the money.
The policemen left here are very alert, and so is Miss Allen.
The girl must be taken out of our way. So we will wait until dark. Then we will divert their attention. That's all.
Wait to see their faces, especially Black's when you spring this news on them.
Sit down.
Now listen, Stewart. I know my law. What charge are you holding me on?
Possibly for the murder of Henry Calvert.
That's the craziest thing you ever said.
You were going to meet Walter in your office?
I told you to keep your mouth shut.
None of that.
I received a wire signed by Walter Calvert requesting me to meet him in my office. The wording of the message indicated that he had found something. Naturally, I was interested.
Why didn't you tell me about it?
It was not a police matter. I had certain reasons wanting to clear this up without any publicity.
Oh, trying to cheat me out of my living.
And Mr. Black, you'll have no objections to meeting Walter in your office?
Well, why, no, certainly not. However, after certain things have happened, I doubt if he'll keep the appointment.
I'll agree with that.
You do?
Walter Calvert didn't send that telegram.
Well, it was signed by him.
The telegraph company has no record of the wire.
It's a trap. We'll be killed.
Well, Mr. Black, we're ready for that appointment.
What did I tell you? His face turned pink when you let him have it.
Right. But remember, we're in on this party, too.
Oh, wonder what color my face is.
Well, what do we do now? Just wait for somebody to take a pot shot at us?
You should have brought those cops with you.
You're making a mistake if you're withholding any information, Mr. Black.
I've told you all I know. Now, if you don't mind, I'll open my personal mail. Or would you rather read it?
Same goes for you, too, Bennett.
You know anything to save your hide, you can talk.
I have nothing to say.
Well, you know something? You don't pay your bills.
Now I know why people hate newspaper reporters.
You have to be inquisitive, I always say, if you want to find out things.
You should have joined the police department. By the way, Mr. Black, I'd like to see a copy of the Calvert account while we're here.
It's in that cabinet, under C.
Thanks. Me that any one of a number of people would want Henry Calvert out of the way.
Well, I'm not responsible for quarrels among the relatives. I represented Henry.
Your legal advice was excellent, Mr. Black. No one could get $1 out of it.
If I ever get enough money together one time, Mr. Black, I'm going to hire you. You're just the kind of a lawyer I want.
You honor me, Mr. Ellis. Begin to realize that these are police matters. This key is to the center drawer. The other drawer is open in the usual manner.
Thanks. The case would have been much easier if you'd helped me like this from the beginning.
You'll find everything you want in that center drawer.
Everything's under control here. Keep watch outside. Why didn't you tell me about that gun when you saw it, Black?
I didn't see it.
I think you did.
How do you like that, Bob? The gun jumped up on the desk after it went off.
That's the idea, or part of it.
What idea?
Some very valuable securities belonging to Henry Calvert.
I knew nothing of them.
That's another part of that same idea.
What is this idea you keep talking about?
A very clever trap. Suppose Black here had been caught in it. He'd have been found with a bullet in him. That gun on the desk before him, these presumably stolen securities in the desk. Perfect setup for suicide, motive and all.
But why was I brought here then?
A slight change in the picture could make it look like murder.
Well, who did it?
Your guess is as good as mine, Mr. Black. But since you're asking, I'd say it was someone by the name of Calvert. Have you any more of these around?
Why, you said yourself they were obviously planted there.
I could be wrong. Don't touch it. I'm going to have everything tested for fingerprints, so I don't expect we'll find any.
Well, maybe they wore gloves like we do. I mean, they do.
I hope this narrow escape has convinced you that I need your cooperation, not your opposition. We have a common enemy, and a very dangerous one.
Do you have any idea who it is?
I think I have, but until I have the proof I want, I'm not making any statement. I'll tell you this much, though. I think our unknown has stolen and hidden the Calvert fortune. He's been unable to return to the hiding place because of the police guard. That's made him desperate. And that's why I'm forced to use the Calvert mansion as a trap.
Whoever that was who screamed has sure disappeared.
Well, we'd better keep looking. You cover the side.
For it, huh, Miss Ellen?
No, somebody tried to get into my room. I had to get out.
Then it was you who screamed?
Yes.
Let's have a look. Bob Stewart.
All right, Duke.
I'll get it. Hello? Yeah, this is Stewart.
So you better get back here. The Ellen girl was outside climbing trees. Yeah, and Sarah Caldwell is missing.
We'll be out there right away.
Miss Allen, you must come with me. I'll show you where she's gone.
Who?
Sarah Caldwell.
Well, can't you tell me?
No, you must come. She wants you. What's that for?
Nothing you'd be interested in. Come on, show me the way.
You must be cautious. The police are all about us.
Are you all right in there, Miss Bennett?
Of course. Why shouldn't I be?
Well, I can think of a lot of reasons, but we won't go into that right now.
Has my husband returned yet?
No, he hasn't. And under the circumstances, I don't think he will. Take a look at that workshop of yours downstairs.
Why, certainly, sir.
You don't need me, sir. I'll see if I can help Mrs. Dill.
All right, go ahead.